All right, Grasshoppers. It is the most popular half hour at 11:30 on Monday morning on the internet, on my Facebook page, in the history of mankind. The one and only Mark Puttenvig. How are you doing, brother? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. I'm excellent. So again, just to be
feeling
sure,
a little better each day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Mark has got a company called Patriot Training Systems. He trains everybody on the planet, and maybe in some other planets too. I don't know. He trains all over the universe. Yes. Can train anything. Boxing. Interstellar. That's right too. And he recently had a surgery that most people would be still in the hospital with intravenous sticking out of their arms, and he's up doing his training. How you are feeling better though?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel better. I made the turn middle part of last week, and each day it's getting a little better.
Very good.
So
you posted a video. You posted a video. Was it yesterday? Defending yourself with a tissue.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool. I never.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Go ahead. Explain it. I want to comment on it.
So the thinking is, and it's a proven fact that anything that's thrown at your face, you have an instinctual reaction to put your hands up. You can't stop it. So
really? I want to try that with somebody, because when you said that, I was like, really? Is that really what happens?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, because it's a survival instinct. So in other words, you have the frontal cortex of the brain, which does all the executive thinking. So when you're driving and you observe something, that's your executive thinking. You're going to make a decision. When something's that fast, the frontal cortex doesn't even hop on. It goes straight to the middle part of your brain, which is survival. So when something's coming at your eyes in particular, you're going to do what we call a flinch reflex. Right. And so I could have a tissue in my hand, and if I see someone who's going, again, this isn't a survival, someone's going to attack you with a weapon, or you throw a tissue. It could be my ball cap. It could be anything, my keys in my hands at their face. They're going to put their hands up. That gives you an opportunity to either escape or then if you have no other option, then to deliver a blow that's going to incapacitate that attacker.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty cool. That was cool when I was watching. Like, okay, I got to get somebody to throw something at my face to test that out. I'm not doubting you in any way. It's just the way you said it.
But the problem is you'll know it's coming.
Right. Very true. Yeah, that's true.
The thing is, some of the guys on I've seen in practice playing, when we do a shootout or something, the guy will skate down and flick his glove because the goaltender is going to look at it.
Yeah.
The glove.
Yeah.
And then shoot. Yeah. It's the similar kind of concept. Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, you can't. There's certain things. Was what I was going to say, Tom. There's certain things. So in other words, these are reactions that are survival that are in our brain at birth. Right. So in other words, when you stick your hand in fire and you put your hand back, you're not going to ever do it again. So that's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a poor analogy, but yeah. So anything coming at your eyes in particular, you're going to have instinctual reaction to put your hands up, raise your shoulders, and tuck your chin. Right. There's no way you can stop it.
That's interesting. Like, and the way I'm not doubting you, like I said, it's just the way you said it with such certainty. I was like, is that really the case? Obviously it is. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So it gives you a time deficit to, like I said, either escape, or if you can't escape, then you can do secondary.
Right. I think Barry Shelley is trying to give me a little bit of a hard time here, to be honest. This is how I read this. I love the video you posted about what not to do while playing hockey. Glad you used a dummy instead of Tom. I wonder if he's insinuating that I am a dummy. Is that he's thinks what he's saying?
No, I think he was you the bat. I don't know. Did you see? It was pretty funny. It's a guy. He's got like who Bob is. It's that armless head and torso that you can hit. So this guy took him on the ice and I forget what jersey. It doesn't matter. Jersey and a helmet on it. And it's just a funny video, him skating up and doing a flying kick into the thing. And
that's right. Yes, I did see that. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So Barry, Tom would be the guy delivering the blows, not the other. He wouldn't be the dummy.
I was telling somebody the other day, I can't remember who we were talking to. They're like, you're such a sweet man now, Tom. You're so kind and all that kind of stuff. What were you like when you were younger? And so I started explaining some of the things we did in college, like eating glass and banging my head against the doors, metal doors. And when I first got my first car after I signed with the Rangers, we'd go back up to Marquette, and about 2:00 in the morning, after several beers, I drive home on the sidewalk with 60 miles an hour, all that kind of lovely stuff. And she goes, "No, you didn't do that." I said, "Yes, I did. I'm not proud of it, but it definitely happened." Yes,
we're all guilty of that. Phil Russell, you remember Rusty?
Yeah.
So Danico was, I think, a rookie. They got into a headbutting competition.
Oh my God!
And of course, Kenny tells the famous story of headbutting with Ty Domi, a club in the city. Yeah. So no, Barry, we never grow up.
Jeez.
Ever.
Some of the damage I must have done to my brain. Seriously, like, you know, especially after a few beers, it seemed like a really intelligent thing to do was to bang your head against a metal door.
Seemed like the thing to do at that time.
Oh, unbelievable.
Wow.
Well, fun because I'm going back up to I'll be 2 weeks today. Actually, I'll be up in Marquette, Michigan. I'm speaking. So it's really, as I've gotten closer, I'm starting to think of some of the old stories and everything, and the people up there. And I'm looking forward to going back. It's been over 30 years.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
But no one's immune to this. So poor Beth, when I first started dating her, this is a long time ago, but my kids were, I don't know, 10 and 12. Sean and Ty were like 10 and 12. So Beth works in New York. So we went in on a Friday, a beautiful spring or summer day. And the plan was we're going to meet Beth and we're going to go get dinner, walk around, go to a museum or something like that. So it was like a few minutes before 5 p.m. And we're outside waiting for Beth. And I was demonstrating to Sean how you can toughen your hands up by hitting like a telephone pole or, in this case, the wall of the building.
Right.
So now as I'm demonstrating this to Sean, there's this mass of humanity coming out of the building because everybody's leaving at 5.
Right.
And Beth comes out and she looks over and sees me punching the wall and just kept walking.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Didn't want, I don't know that dude, man.
Oh, God. Oh,
yeah. So I had a little bit of explaining that it was a demonstration. It was nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah.
So I wouldn't do this all the time, but this one particular time I was eating a glass. It was very late at night and I was at the bar and I was eating the glass. Everybody's scattered away. They're all like, what is this guy doing? He's nuts. And as I would have too. And this guy, the bouncer or manager of the bar, he was former some military, pretty, not just regular army or whatever, but he's been, in wars and all that kind of stuff. The worst thing he said to me, he could have possibly said to me was, I've been shot and I've been stabbed, Laidlaw. I'm not afraid of you, which made it even worse, right? He's comparing me to get stabbed. So I was even felt I was even tougher. So, yeah.
Well, like Bill Brown told me, there's a difference between being a hard guy and an idiot.
Oh, God. Imagine, like, if I was to sit there and watch somebody chewing on a glass, I'd be like, what? What's the possible motive? Like, why? Oh, man.
Yeah. But we did.
Yes, we did. Why? Because we can.
That's right. Hey, Tom, if I could take two. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to take a couple seconds here. So last Monday, and I couldn't attend it because I was still on the couch. I'm really not happy about that personally. But we had our golf outing for the New Jersey Warriors last Monday at Stanton Ridge in New Jersey. And it's put on and I don't know how many man hours of work by hockey players in business. Tim Tedesco and Billy Kostecki are just tremendous human beings to begin with. And so I wanted to just talk real briefly, if I could, about hockey players in business, which is this great program that they run here in New Jersey. It's nationwide, but they run the New Jersey area. And what it is basically it's a LinkedIn for anybody who's played hockey, whether it's just travel hockey, high school, collegiate, minor, NHL, whatever. It's a program that they interconnect to share, in our case, charitable events, and then also to share business between hockey players. So two things. I just want to, again, thank Tim Tedesco and Bill Kostecki for another outstanding job. They raised a lot of money for us this year. That's and so anybody's interested in hockey players in business, go to their website. It's I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I can get it. It's HPIB is the acronym, Hockey Players in Business. And it's a great program, and those are two great men.
Yeah, we had him on a show a couple years ago. Remember?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did.
Good guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, great guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good when somebody does a charity like that. Yeah, good job. So, like, you have your own.
Tom, I'm just going to put.
You have your own.
Yeah, I have a 501. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah. So the New Jersey Warriors is a nonprofit 501.
Okay. Good. Did I tell you the plan is? You probably not, because we really just got going. The Thursday show we discussed yesterday about doing a dance challenge. Actually, last Thursday we discussed doing a dance challenge. So instead, like the ice bucket challenge, we're going to do the dance challenge. I got to ask your opinion though. So two things. First of all, I think I don't know. This isn't nailed down yet, but hopefully this week we'll discuss it. Getting the Garden of Dreams as a charity. They've got their own 501c3 great cause. But one thing that kind of burst the bubble a little bit, I didn't realize, like Kelly Ripa, her show in the morning, they have people sending in dance videos already. I don't think it's tied to a charity at all. I think it's just a fun thing, sending
just
in
for fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any no copyright on it. No, I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah.
Good.
You know the old saying, Tom, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Yeah. I just didn't want to make it look like we were copying them. This was our concept to do it. So
plus, I think it would be pretty hard to go after somebody that's doing it for a 501(c) charity.
Totally. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you're definitely doing a video.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And Beth. And the key is it doesn't matter how good or bad you are. There's no judgment on it. It's just you have to put everything you've got into it. You got to put your whole heart into dancing. So
Beth can really dance. I mean,
most she dance. She can dance.
Yeah, she can really dance.
Oh,
I have to shadow box.
Okay.
So, in fact, one of the very first times Beth and I were at a formal event, we were at her company's Christmas party, big event, and she said, "Do you want to dance?" I said, "Yeah, I'm just going to warn you right now. This is how I dance." And I showed her, like.
Oh, is that right?
And she took a pass. Yeah.
Oh, is that? I'm not going to get embarrassed up there with him.
Exactly.
Oh,
she thought better of it.
Yeah. Oh, I've gotten into this dance thing now where I can't stop dancing. Like we had an event I went to on Friday down the city, a place called American Whiskey. Watched the Ranger game, and I walk in. The first thing I do is start dancing. They're like, "What are you doing?"
Well, I mean, we've talked about this before, but athletics and music are so intertwined.
Yeah.
And, in the gym, when my friend Danny and I used to spar, we always had James Brown on in the background.
That's right.
It gives you a nice rhythm. And if you catch a body shot, you can dance it off and play it off like that. It's nothing. That's funny. Meanwhile, you're internally bleeding, but that's another story.
It reminds all this college stuff I'm remembering now. So we, particularly, I think my senior year, we had a video, just an audio tape. I guess it must be an 8-track or something like that. During our warm up, it's all disco stuff too. I hope somebody's got it because it's funny. Like I probably would never listen to that stuff now, but disco.
Well, yeah, we're down for that. We're on board for that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, the dance challenge. The dance challenge.
But, yeah,
I guess that ice bucket challenge made millions and millions of dollars, right?
Tons of money. Tons of money. Yeah.
Yeah. Barry's coming up with an idea here. Yeah, we want this to be big, right? We should put all the videos we can get. Yeah, we want to try to get some celebrities too. That's what we're hoping that if they're okay with the Garden of Dreams being the charity, that maybe they'll help us get some of the current players, the Knicks, and all kinds of rock acts. Yeah, make it a big thing, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like
the challenge part is what makes it grow organically.
Yeah, right.
You challenge me, I challenge someone, and so forth.
So I didn't realize that's how they made money from it. It's just really to bring light to the charity, whichever one it is. I think was it ALS for the Ice Bucket Challenge? Yeah,
it was.
Right. Yeah, and I guess apparently they had to hire a bunch of people. I think it just took off. How much money they raised? Yeah.
And I think it was, if I'm remembering it right, it was started by someone who had ALS.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was the story.
Started off something small and then just
he thought it'd be small and it just took off.
Yeah.
So
it's cool that Tom things do that. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. It's amazing how something organically just grew like that.
Yeah. I don't know why this. So we need to discuss something here. This Bill Contradidiac guy. Here's the question: do we really think that's his last name? Contradiac.
I don't know, but it seems to be throwing us off the scent. You can't find him.
Yeah. I guess it's almost like, okay, I'm going to come up with a fake name. I'll just throw a whole bunch of letters together.
You know what I think it is? I think it's Larry Melnick.
Could be.
That's right, I think it's like
it's a Ukrainian name. That's right. Because they're both saying yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right too.
Yeah. I think it's Melnick.
See, that's why you get the big money right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I had a nasty head cold last week. So I really kind of backed off my workouts a little bit. And it came back. So I started yesterday was the first good one. Oh, felt fantastic. Took 5 days off. Man, it's just fired up. I felt stronger. Yeah.
I think that's God's way of telling you, shut it down for a little bit.
I know it is true, right?
Yeah. And you do come back hungrier and just more energy, and you're pissed because you missed.
Yeah,
you're pissed because you missed.
Yeah, pissed because you missed. You're pissed because you missed. Pissed because you missed. I like that. That's a new saying. Pissed because I missed.
So Tom, I don't think my Jets are ever going to lose another football game.
Same thing with my Giants. I agree totally. Yeah,
I think this year's Super Bowl.
I like the coaches both too, right? Like they're those fiery guys, but they're like really like what I liked with that Drabel for the Giants was early in the season where can't remember the quarterback's name. He made a bad pass and instead of having to kick gloves with him, they got right in his face. Got right on him, yelled at him, and everything. I think the kid actually really responded to it too. He's playing well.
So I was looking at the Jets coach yesterday. Just Googled him. I think he played at Northern Michigan football.
Yes, he did. Yes.
And his cousin's a professional fighter, boxer, had a nice little career.
Oh, really? I didn't know that part. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. He's a Lebanese dude. Saleh, he was Lebanese, and from Michigan, played in Northern Michigan. He was a tight end. I think he was all conference, and he's a good ball player. And then, his cousin was a professional fighter, and he fought some people I know. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's good. I like him too. Yeah, apparently I don't know if he still does now, but he before he was in San Francisco, right? But I guess he'd be running the stairs, running the stadium stairs, and all that kind of stuff for the games. Yeah.
Well, he still looks like he could play.
I mean, he does. Yeah, and he gets that going on the bench too. He's like, no, like gonna make a good play.
I have a question for you, Tom.
Yes,
I think I know the answer, but so to that point, was it easier for you to respect a coach that played in the NHL and kind of stayed in shape, whatever, or I won't name any names, but guys that never played and were like really big and fat?
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not a Ken Hitchcock fan. Like, I thought he was totally
That's
rude
what I was talking about. Yeah.
I thought he was totally rude to the player, disrespectful, totally unnecessary. He actually, I thought, was a pretty smart hockey guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of guys. Like, I had a couple of players that played for him, and on a regular basis, they're calling him to his face. They call him, at the end of the confrontation, they call him a fat F,
Whatever,
Yeah, you just don't have any respect for the guy. Even a guy like Kurt Brooks, didn't play in the NHL, almost made the Olympics.
It's different, though.
Yeah, he carried himself with respect to it. As much as he was he played some mind games, he would treat you well too, though. Like you really knew that if you were his guy, then he was gonna like Lamoriello, I guess, is like that too, right? You work for him.
Yeah.
If you're one of his guys, he'll die for you, right? You're part of the family. So
yeah, he did a lot behind the scenes to help everybody, But I also did hear a story from a girl who worked in the business end of it. Someone was 5 minutes late for a meeting.
Yeah.
Fired him.
Yeah, but that's harsh. But I think especially once she's been there for a while and she's established the rules, like everybody knows the rules.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody gets treated the same, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's the key thing.
I'm bad with people being late. I just don't.
I don't understand it.
Yeah. Especially now if you're going to a physical meeting and you've got Waze or Google Maps, like don't tell me you ran into traffic. I mean, it means you don't care enough about the meeting. You don't have enough respect for somebody else to really get there.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. 100%. Without a doubt.
I'm like that with phone calls too. If somebody tells me they're calling me at 11 o'clock, I'm probably over the top with it, right? Like if it's 11:02, I ain't picking up. The meeting's over.
I mean, there's a lot of bad things about myself, but one of the good things is I'm a very punctual person.
Yeah. Just drives me nuts to be late for something. Oh, totally.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
How's it going? How's the young not young guy, the gentleman that got his fingers cut off there?
Brad. Yeah. You know what? He's another amazing human being. So yeah, he was really wounded, or not wounded, but hurt when he chopped he got his hand caught in a saw and from below the knuckles came off. His pinky's gone forever. And as he told me, he found these 3 fingers were still attached behind the woodshed. They flew. Yeah, and
the 3 of them were still together?
Yeah, because the blade came below the knuckles.
Jesus.
And it was like a lamb chops. Boom. And then his thumb he found in the tool bucket.
So let me get this straight. So he's bleeding, his fingers, and now he goes and looks for his fingers.
He had the mindset to keep his mud together, went around, gathered up his fingers, put them in ice. When the EMT, because they were young kids, they were getting sick, and they're going, "You're in shock." He's going, "No, you're in shock. Get me to the effing hospital." Right?
Well, so hold on. The EMTs were young, and they were throwing up at the sight of it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they were going into shock? He had to tell them?
Yeah. Like, get your get your stuff together and get me to the hospital, people. Can you see I got a problem here?
That's gonna be a scary feeling when you're the one with your fingers gone.
Exactly.
And you got to control the situation.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So he went through some serious surgery. It's a tough fight, but you know what? I knew this from when it happened, that within less than 2 months he'd be at 5 a.m. laying pavers because he's that kind of guy.
Is it all healed up?
No, I mean he has more surgeries to go through, but he's out of the woods in terms of the critical stage of it. But yeah, I mean, so he's with one hand or doing what he can do, and he also is still getting to the boxing gym and inspirationally helping along some of the guys. Like, hey, don't miss your workout. Don't lose a fight and wonder why, because you weren't here putting in the work.
That's cool.
So I really, really have a lot of respect for him and commend him for the way he's recovered and how he's handling it.
Right.
You know, because a lot of us could have just, it's a tough thing. I mean, it's like,
oh yeah. Like
See, could easily,
yeah, from the start too, to handle himself the way he did, to go looking for your fingers, to have that sense of,
could you imagine? Yeah. But yeah, he's a fighter and he's a good man, and it's good to see him on the rebound.
I guess that's, it's interesting, right? That Jack like that. I remember when my son he dislocated his elbow, so it was popped the wrong way, and we were all. It was oh God, it must have been 12 years ago or something. No, longer than that. 15 years ago. So yeah, he was small, like 8, 9, 10 years old, and they were playing outside. We had a bunch of it was Memorial Day weekend, I think it was, and I hear this knock on the door. I go look at the door. My son's standing there with his arm backwards.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how I knew I was in charge now, and I had to be responsible, and I had to get him to the hospital. He was counting on me to be under control and everything. He's laying in the back seat and he's going, "Dad, is my arm going to fall off?" and all this stuff. And I had to be under control to say, "No, you're fine." And we got him. I got him to the hospital. I probably told you the story. Got him to the hospital, and the doctors and nurses took over. And I'm almost crying now. I turned into a little puddle of mush.
Sure, it's your sign. Yeah.
But I guess because I held it together because I had to until the nurses. So I guess in his case, he was the one that had to hold himself together, right? Especially the EMT shop, they're losing their minds. Huh?
Well, we can be surprised at how people react, especially when it's your child.
Right.
I mean, your dad, your mom, my dad, my mom, they were old school. My father, I remember I cut my finger with a knife, and I said, "Dad," I came down into the living room. I said, "Dad, I think I got to go get some stitches." He said, "Just put a Band-Aid on it."
Yeah.
I listened to him. I put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days later, I'm ironing a shirt, getting ready to go to school, and I look down, and there's this green pus coming out of my finger. I was so infected. I probably could have lost the finger, but he was a World War II vet. I mean, it's just like put a Band-Aid on it. I don't want to.
Same thing. Yeah, growing up in the farm, the same way. We played a hockey game one night, and I'd gotten, you didn't shower at the rink back then. You showered when you got home, and I'd gotten kicked and didn't realize I had like a slice in my rib cage there on the side of my skin. These nasty one, probably should have got stitches, but we lived, half an hour. It was 11 o'clock at night. We lived half an hour from the hospital, so my dad got hockey tape and just taped it all off. That's just the same thing. Oh God!
I had a friend of mine. His father used a duct tape. The gray duct tape.
Sure.
Duct tape. The gray tape for everything. In fact, he had a dog that had something happen, and he just duct taped it was a pretty significant wound. He put duct tape on it, and it actually healed. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So, I mean, we had a dog too with 3 legs. So this dog we had 4 legs born with, and then got in a fight. Probably like 6 or 7 years old. Got in a fight with a German Shepherd, and they tried everything. They put a cast on the whole bit. It was getting gangrene. So my father took the dog away. We thought he was just going to put the dog down. Yeah. I really didn't ask too many questions. And then like 3 days later, he'd gone away, brought the dog back. The dog jumped out of the truck in a great mood, just happy to see us. They had cut the leg off, and it was all like skin there, like all shaved off and everything. And we're looking like, what the like that's the dog. First of all, we thought the dog was dead. And then he comes back with 3 legs. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, my uncle had a 3-legged dog, Petey, and he was one nasty little Jack Russell Terrier. Even with 3 legs, he was nasty. You stayed away from him. Yeah.
Is that right? That's funny. Yeah, this dog had lived another 7 or 8 years with 3 legs, and yeah. All right, Bill's making fun of my dog. He's calling him tripod. He's calling him tripod. That is just not right at all. Make fun of a man's deceased dog. That is just.
If you're gonna call anybody a tripod, you call another man a tripod.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, Mark Osborne. After we call it, oh God, I'm gonna remember this guy's name. I can't remember it. There's a player, and a tough guy too. Played in Hartford. You'll know who. I can't remember. Yeah. But he was famous for having the largest penis in the National Hockey League. And really? I knew him. He called me up, asked me to represent him late in his career. So of course I have to ask him. I says, "Is it really that big?" And I guess apparently everybody would ask him. Dave Taylor was very funny. He was a teammate of mine in LA. He was the general manager of the Kings, and I was shopping around, shopping this guy around to get him a job. Jim McKenzie, thank you,
Jim
Billy.
McKenzie, yeah. And by the way, that guy was jacked.
Oh yeah, great guy too. I guess everybody. So I called up Dave. I said, "Dave, I'm trying to get Jim McKenzie a job." He goes, he starts giggling. He goes, "Is it really that big?"
Well, Howard Stern, this is years ago when I still listen to him, had Milton Berle on. And apparently Milton Berle was legendary as well. And so was Errol Flynn, time after Errol Flynn. and they got on the subject of it, and I guess Milton Berle was saying they had a contest, between he and Errol Flynn.
Oh.
So Howard Stern said, "Did you win?" He said, "Yeah, I took out just enough to win."
Who is the actor now? Is it John Hamm? John Hamm, I think.
Yes, John Hamm. Yeah.
There's some. Apparently, look up pictures of him, and Jesus Lord, like must have had some kind of a transfusion or something. I don't know.
Well, they say, I saw this. I think it's true. If you get stung by a bee there, it permanently enlarges it. So I'm thinking like
buying some
just
bees.
For the honey, getting a beehive.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Is this guy Dirk Diggler? Is that really a person? I've heard this before.
Yeah, that's the dude from the movie Boogie Nights.
Oh,
I think Mark played this part. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. By the way,
I see advertisements where you can make yours bigger. Right? Is there some exercise you can do to make your?
Well, there's a real famous story, John. The guy, Tom, this is years ago. A guy had he placed an ad, and it was $5 guaranteed penis enlargement, guaranteed,
right?
$5. So people sent away. The guy made a lot of money because when you open up the package, it was a magnifying glass. Yeah. And the guy made a fortune.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. Oh.
Boy, did Ryan Reeves just absolutely pump Foligno the other night.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yeah. He's good. He's got I like him too. He's got that personality Reeves does too, like the attitude. Like he walks the walk too, right? It's not just how tough he is anymore.
They say he came into camp lighter, and because he goes, "Well, I'm 35. I got to really came in really great shape, and
cool.
He can still fight apparently because Foligno is no slouch. I mean, he's a big, strong kid. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, and younger too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. It's early in the season, obviously, but some of these teams, you wonder, like we were talking this morning with Kevin Al, like San Jose's 0-4 to start with. You kind of wonder where that organization's going. Yeah. I guess Tortorella's got him going in Philly there a little bit too. They're playing pretty well to start with. So
they always do with him at first.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Definitely. He gets most out of him. How is the lovely Beth doing?
She's doing fine. She's leaving in a few weeks. She's going to run a half marathon up in Wisconsin.
Oh, nice.
So she got 12 miles in yesterday in her training.
Nice. Very cool.
So
and she's a pretty good runner, right? She ran in the past a lot too, right?
Oh, yeah. She's done probably half a dozen or 8 full marathons. She's done New York 2 or 3 times.
Oh, cool.
Well, you know what it is, Tom? Listen, picture this. You walk home you walk in the house from work, and the first thing you see is me. Right. You're going to turn around and go for a long run. It's just the way it is.
Or she just runs right towards you.
Yeah. Or hope when she gets back, I'm gone. Yeah.
Right. So now you've been stuck at home. Well, you're getting out now, right?
Now I am, yeah. But for a long time, I was prisoner.
Yeah. So here's a long lost friend of ours. This is Luce Cannon. This is Sally Salt. This is the Sally Salt woman.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So now that they become big time, like we were all like good friends, coming to show together. And now they're big time. The Sally Salt. So
that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's really not much. Let's see here. I cooked yesterday. How have Tom come over to cook for you when she's away? Oh, okay. Mark's pretty good cook himself though. Mark's pretty good. I got into the bread yesterday. I made some bruschetta. Oh,
yes.
You like bruschetta? I love bruschetta. Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah. I like Italian food in general. I mean, my mom was Italian, so I kind of grew up with it.
Right. Yeah. I made my own little glaze for it too. I made so I put when I cooked it, the chicken. I'd like to hear your opinion on this. So I've learned that you put the glaze on any sauce you're going to use at the end there when it's almost cooked. That you do that as well. Okay.
Yeah, if you put it on too early, it's it'll burn it kind of.
Yes, especially so in my glaze, I put my homemade ketchup, which is just all vegetables, some honey and horseradish together. So I had a little bit of a bite to it. But it was
horseradish is really good for you, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
Really good for you. It's a strong antioxidant. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I love horseradish.
I'm getting into capers lately, maybe because I have no Sally salt left loose cannon. So I use capers to get my salt from them.
Yeah, they're great too. They really give it a nice briny kind of taste of chicken, like when you make chicken with lemon.
Yeah.
And
or
fish.
They're good antioxidants too, from what I understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
What is what is an antioxidant? What does that do?
So when we respirate and our metabolism. There's a byproduct which is an oxidizer, which is basically you're going to rust from the inside out.
Right.
They're called free radicals.
Okay.
It's kind of like cells that are not cells, but molecules that are they're kind of just they're free radicals. They're bad in nature. They're going to do harm to you. So the antioxidants eliminate those. So the thinking is that the more antioxidants you consume, the less free radicals you have, and the less you're oxidizing or rusting from within, which is the aging process, so to speak.
Okay. So yes, Loose Cannon, we will do a podcast next week there if you're begging. Yes. Oh, here's one. Anthony Carlucci has a breakthrough here in his marriage. My wife apologized to me for the first time in our marriage. She says she's sorry. Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. I like that a lot. That's very funny. She apologized for the first time. That's hilarious. That's good. Good job, Anthony. Very nice.
I remember my dad telling me, how'd you know? He said, I told her I'd give her a ring in the morning. I meant a phone call.
Oh. All right. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it true that we should not use plastic Tupperware?
Well, you have to. So there's what is it, BPA? So if you look at plastic containers, there'll be if it says BPA free,
right?
I forget what it is. It's vinyl polyphenol, whatever. If it's BPA free, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
If it's not, that BPA actually leaches into whatever food you're putting in there to store.
All right.
I would imagine that Tupperware is such a big company that it's all BPA free.
Yeah, you think so, right?
Yeah, you have to look. There'll be a label or an imprint in the plastic saying BPA free. Same thing with your water bottles. Yeah.
Right.
You
are a source of knowledge.
Yeah, like Cliff from so Rammer used to call me. It was Cliff from what was that show?
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Useless information. Because we'd be flying somewhere and we go, I didn't know all this stuff.
No, to me, that's useful information. That one right there.
That is. Yeah. I got plenty that's useless though.
Because I've got all plastic stuff, and somebody was telling me the other day, Tom, you need to get glass. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of concern also over the non-stick pans that we've been using for decades.
Right.
And it makes sense. I mean, there's got to be some funky chemicals in there that can't be good for you.
You say with a cast iron skillet that you get some iron in your.
You do. Yeah, and that's good for you. I mean, iron's good for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got my zinc as directed by you, and my other the other one
quercetin.
Yeah,
quercetin. Yeah. I don't know.
A lot of foods are really good for your immune system, right? I didn't realize there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, tons. Yeah. You know, I read an interesting quote. I might have sent it to you that treat your food as medicine before your medicine becomes your food.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah. Like I see now, it's just like almost the advertisement is almost like it's just assumed that as we get older, we're just going to start taking all these medications, right? It's like a regimen instead of just eating healthier food.
Well, they want you to.
Yeah, totally. Right? It's like it's expected. That's what you're going to do, right? Yeah.
Well, it's just amazing when you're watching television at night, how many commercials there are for drugs. I mean, they just create new illnesses for us.
There was one the other day. It was hilarious. There was one the other day. I know they're all like this, but it was for treating prostate cancer, and it was some medication to take. But they went on after they must have gone for 2 minutes about all the other things that could happen to you. I'd rather die from prostate cancer.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh,
it's incredible. I don't know what it is I'm taking now, but I have this. I showed you that whole regimen I take.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I've been laying around for so long. I have boundless energy right now. I don't know what it is. And I think it might be this newer green supplement called Moringa, Moringa. It's a superfood. And I'm jacked up, ready to go.
Oh, yeah. I am too. Like I tell you, and I know our buddy Brendan Duffy is not going to like the end of this. He's the sleep expert, and I'm not doubting him in any way. But I tell you, I get less sleep, and I don't know what it is. I'm so fired up. Yeah. You know what I've done too, and I've learned more stuff. So in the morning when I get up at 3:30, so I had been in the past sitting on the couch and getting my iPad open and reading what's going on. And I've changed that now. I'll go stand in my kitchen. I've got a homemade bar there, so I'll stand in the kitchen, stand up, and instead of watching the news, because I can get the news anytime I want. I'll get onto those reels, those motivational reels, and I'm what's going. And by the time I've left to go out to the gym, I feel like I've warmed up my brain. Like I know it's strange to say it that way, but yeah, I feel like I've warmed up.
There's so my morning routine is, get up early, do my thing, the personal thing, a little meditation, a little of that. And then I'll put on a fight. Like yesterday, I watched Pernell Whitaker and Oscar De La Hoya. I watched the whole fight. And then I go train people because it gets me in the mindset of where I want to be. And every time I watch a fight, I see something, I go, oh, I like that. I like that move.
Yeah.
And then I'll keep because on YouTube you can replay it 1,000 times. I'll watch it until I completely understand it, and then it's transferable when I'm coaching. Sure. Yeah. So is it cheating? No, I don't think it's cheating. It's just further my education.
No, I agree 100%. Yeah, I just like this better than I do. Even I've just learned recently that you only use 4 to 10% of your brain. There's all that extra we've got there. So why not work on it, right? My workouts have been so much better since I started doing this. Where it's like I get to the gym and I'm in that, just like you in the boxing mode. I'm in that gym mode. I'm there to work out. I'm fired up. Yeah.
And I like the idea. So Vasily Lomachenko, who's a really elite boxer, has had an incredible career, both amateur and professional. So what he does at the end of his physical training center, they have in his gym another room where he does a lot of mind stuff. So like number patterns, puzzles. And the thinking is, I kind of agree that he's physically tired, but you still want to be able to operate your brain.
Yeah.
So whether it's in a hockey game or a fight, or even just in day-to-day life, if you're tired and then something happens where you got to critically think, this kind of conditions you to be able to do it.
Totally. Yeah. Like so many, we've been through this over and over, where the second game of back-to-backs, particularly in the hockey world, has become this thing now where you play your backup goaltender, you treat the team differently because you think, well, we've reduced our chances of winning anyways. Let's not tire out the starting goaltender.
Right.
I think that's so wrong. I think it's almost like you're saying to the players, you're giving them a built-in excuse. You're tired. You're not going to be as good tonight. Right?
Well, I'd be interested to see what Brendan says. I think I might be correct in this assumption. If you take care of your body, there's no reason you can't play back-to-back games.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I do think that maybe you have to force yourself mentally to be sharper, to be more focused and everything like that. Although you should be preparing for every game the same way, so it shouldn't really matter. But I'm with you. I remember thinking back. Yeah, maybe I was more tired on the second game, but I still was required to, or I required myself to still play the same way. I wasn't going to say I'm tired so I don't have to play as well, I think.
Yeah, and you could get the proper rest. I mean, that's part of it. I do find too, you and I get up really early, that I have no problem with taking a 10 or 12 or 15-minute nap during the day.
Yeah, sure.
If I can fit it in. I think Brendan would agree. It's really critical that you can do. I mean, look at how many cultures have a siesta in the afternoon. And there's different reasons for it, because down south, that's the hottest part of the day. But I think it also it's just rejuvenating. I don't know if it's in Japan, but they have these pods in a lot of corporate buildings where you can go into a pod and catch a quick 15 minutes. Yeah. And they found productivity has gone through the roof.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I agree totally. Wow, 38 minutes we've gone already. We can do a lot of talking, you and I.
It's the moringa.
Right. All right, good to see you again. You're feeling better. I like that a lot. Yes. And again, Hockey Players in Business. Is that what that group is called? Hockey Players in Business? Yes, it's
Hockey Players in Business. Tim Tedesco, Bill Kostecki doing an incredibly outstanding job, and we're really thankful for having.
So, if other people have some business opportunities and want to kind of tap into that network of people, they can.
Absolutely, that's the whole idea. Yeah. So what they're doing is very charitable for us. But it's also, again, you played in Northern Michigan. Say somebody in business graduated from Northern Michigan. They connect with you, and you can help each other out somehow.
Super. All right, brother. Good to see you guys. You're doing well. We'll see everybody next week. The most popular half hour in the history of Tom Laidlaw.
The whole Interstellar.
That's right, too. Yeah, we're going global. All right. See you, brother.
Have a good one.